the Killa Gorilla, Jared Cannonier, turns back the clock, breaks that 2-fight losing streak, and looked, apart from that first round, things got real shaky in that first round. But with all of that being said, for someone who's going to be 41 in not that long, like for him to be able to recover after a first round like that, getting dropped twice by a huge power puncher, like how is Gregory Rodrigues a middleweight? Jared Cannonier is someone who came down from heavyweight and he looked a weight class smaller. Like Rodrigues looked like a massive light heavyweight in there. It was spinning me out the whole fight, and I just want to circle back to that recovery. Jared Cannonier being able, like I said, after getting dropped twice, hurt bad, to come back, just use that veteran ability. He's been at the top for so long, been in so many dogfights. For him to stay cool, calm, under that pressure, catch a lot on the guard. Gregory Rodrigues was exhausted after the first round. Robocop was showing chinks in that armor, really quickly, and he was just putting his chin on an absolute platter. It was only a matter of time until Cannonier heard him with something big. The way Robocop enters the pocket into an exchange, just hands at his hips, no head movement. We've seen him get starched before in the UFC because of that. Fajeda, I believe, starched him. Beautiful KO. Go back and watch that one if you haven't. But regardless, Robocop, someone, yes, who is so full of firepower, just all offense, man. Absolute all offense. And Cannonier was crafty enough. Yes, he got hurt, but was crafty enough to stick in there and turn the tides. And once that tide turned, it was just a matter of time before Cannonier hurt him bad. That elbow that landed at the end of the third round was brutal. Cannonier out of the clinch has some devastating elbows. We've seen that over his career. Like, look what he did to Derek Brunson. Same sort of position, but the Brunson one was up against the fence. But yeah, the ability to just out of that clinch, short, tight elbow, I don't know how Rodrigues survived that. And then the ground and pound, if there was a few more seconds left in that round, that's all she wrote. He comes out for the fourth, but you can tell he's a shell of himself. He probably shouldn't have gone out for that round because Cannonier, as he should, puts the pressure on early in that round and gets the finish. Like Cannonier showed tonight, even though he lost 2 in a row, and we thought he was over the hill. This was the beginning of the decline. He beats someone who, like we talked about technically coming into the fight, he's probably better skill for skill on the feet. But, dude, like that's a wrecking ball. Robocop is a wrecking ball. And to be able to survive and overcome is very, very impressive for Jared Cannonier. I am so thrilled to see him win because he's a pretty special warrior in there. And he said something in that post-fight interview which really stuck with me. It was, I would rather die on my feet than on my back. Speaking to his ability to keep the fight moving, getting up from the ground. Just have that will and mentality, like about to turn 41 in such a young man's sport and division, really. It's beautiful to see, inspiring, man. Like what Jared Cannonier is doing after some really, really rough results in 2024. This was a great way to start the year and to just turn the tides, man. Like he was almost fighting for his job in there tonight, and he did a spectacular job. Rolling, getting hurt, just rolling with that momentum. And then when it was his turn to be the hammer, my God, did he look good. Even that finishing sequence, bring the guard up and just crack the body. Beautiful. Jared Cannonier, once he had his man hurt, it was all over. Like that was the difference in there. Robocop, just so aggressive, so stiff in everything he was doing. And even though he hurt Cannonier multiple times, he didn't have the smarts or the patience, the calculation to finish the job. Where you saw in the reverse, once Cannonier had his man hurt, the fight was over. Cannonier, someone who, was looked undersized in there, but his power in that division is as good as any. Like he cracks, man. And once he started to land clean on Robocop, it was the beginning of the end. So it's a tough loss for RoboCop. Someone who, yeah, if you can survive that firepower, which not many people outside of the top 10 can, then you can start to really start to implore your game after that first 5 minutes. So RoboCop, that mystique has gone a little bit now. The real talking point of this fight is Cannonier and his revival in such a young man's sport, because for him to stick with it, to have the patience, the dedication, and just the durability of that mindset, to not quit on yourself and to stick with it, it's inspiring, like I said. I'm sure you guys feel the same, and we're very happy to see Cannonier back in the winner's circle. It's what he deserves. Someone who's poured so much of his soul, of his life, into this sport. It's good when the good guys win. It's always so good to watch. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you could like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, it helps me greatly, much more than you guys know, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll chat soon.